So it seems that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is coming towards the end, possibly, of his political reign in power. 12 years of power. That means perhaps the end of the banner showing us how close Iran is to acquiring a nuclear weapon.
A red line should be drawn right here.
Or Benjamin Netanyahu's old DVD stash.
Another 55,000 files on 183 CDs.
It's a large Duft player.
Sorry?
Duft player.
I mean the Iranian nuclear files, which didn't really mean anything.
Is it ready for the hood?
Sorry?
Is it ready for the hood?
But more importantly, Netanyahu is not going down without a fight to protect Israel from what he calls a left-wing government, which is composed of hard right-wingers who are even further to the right than him, like Naftali Bennett, for instance, Avigdor Lieberman, Gideon Sa'ar, and the list goes on. And part of Benjamin Netanyahu's kicking and screaming is actually putting not just Israel and Palestine on the verge of war, but also the region on a verge of all-out warfare.
אנחנו עדים להונאת הבחירות הגדולה ביותר בתולדות המדינה, לדעתי תולדות הדמוקרטיות.
We have seen since the ceasefire between the armed groups in Gaza and Israel that there has been constant provocation by Israeli forces in Jerusalem, in the West Bank, against Palestinian citizens of Israel, and even operations which have been pushing the buttons of the armed groups in Gaza, including blocking of the Qatari aid money, which was to come in and help Gaza rebuild.
Yes, we have commissioned $500 million US, and most of that will be going for rebuilding houses.
We've even seen close allies of Benjamin Netanyahu, like Itamar Ben-Gvir, who is a member of the Knesset for the far right-wing Otzma Yehudit party, who pledged that he would be at a far-right settler rally with groups that wish to storm Al-Aqsa Mosque. And Netanyahu doesn't seem to have taken any issue with these provocative moves, attacks on demonstrators, attacks on innocent civilians in Jerusalem, and the massive arrest crackdown campaign on Palestinian citizens of Israel as any sort of problem, despite the fact that settler marches on Al-Aqsa Mosque and in the old city of Jerusalem and attacks on Palestinians in Jerusalem is actually what triggered the reaction from the Gaza Strip last time and started this massive round of fighting, which lasted for 11 days and has been labeled the 11-day war. On top of that as well, Benjamin Netanyahu has not stopped talking about Iran and has actually threatened Iran again, and many people are saying perhaps may even launch some sort of strike or attack on Iran or Iranian facilities, which could end up triggering an all-out war. And all of this for Netanyahu would benefit him greatly because it would delay the process of the new coalition government coming into power, with of course Naftali Bennett, who is a far-right winger, perhaps even further to the right of Netanyahu, coming into power in a power-sharing agreement with Yair Lapid. And Netanyahu has done everything in his path to make sure that even comes in, that he can break it up and he can divide the parties so that Netanyahu can still stay in power. And when we turn back to the issue of Jerusalem again and the provocations there, what we will see is that not only the armed groups in Gaza are swearing that they will get involved and that they will perhaps launch strikes on Israel, but also even Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, who is the Secretary General of Lebanese Hezbollah, has vowed that attacks on Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site to Muslims, will trigger perhaps an all-out regional war. So Netanyahu, in order to save what he calls a right-wing government, which he can't form, from being replaced by a government which has a lot of figures who are further to the right than him, is perhaps looking to drag the entire region into war over his own power. Yet, if this regional war does kick off, and there is any sort of fighting between the Palestinian armed groups and the Israeli military, most likely what we're going to hear from the mainstream press is the story starts with Hamas rocket fire or Iran's aggression, but in this case, it is so incredibly clear that the provocations have been specifically started by Benjamin Netanyahu to protect his own political life.
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Yahweh. Sorry, going too fast. Am I going good? Shalom, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rukah Kadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, to the sincere shalom, to the brothers out here pushing this truth, and the sincere shalom to the elect, the hopeful elect that's out there. And as we can hear it again, they're gonna probably start up another war, which wouldn't be surprising. Probably quicker than expected, but wouldn't be surprising. But even he was saying that like, if we was to really hear what America would do is they'll spin it up as a rocket was started. We don't know who did it, or they'll just pin the blame on Iran like they always do. And but it's no surprise. This is always a tactics of somebody's influence doing something, and we know it's all America, Babylon behind it, because they always have their hand in something. But let's say if it wasn't, guess what? The person saying that the money that was given to you from the U.S. is going towards repairs. She's saying towards homes. No, it's going towards the repair of that dome or any type of fund they can get to get more missiles out of. We know what it is. For what they say is they always try to throw. We're doing it for the people out there. That's what they always do. Now, they're doing this for the war of it. So this is Matthew 12 and 26. It says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" And that's exactly what's happening, especially with NATO, because once these two are getting involved, if this goes out of control and it starts affecting other countries, everybody's going to start getting involved. Why is it that when these two nations go at it, all of a sudden Babylon's got to have a hand in it, just like they always do in every war? This guy, I forgot, I can't even pronounce his name, but this guy been reigning for 12 years in charge. And because he supposedly, as he's saying, that because this guy is close to stepping down or being replaced, he could start a war and have that revolt. But we can see that this is what they was going to do anyways. Because let's say if this guy got out of here, the next guy they put in there is going to do the same shit. These people may not understand it or know it, but war is inevitable. War will happen, whether they like it or not. And we can clearly see that these people do not like it. But for the figureheads over them, they enjoy this shit. This guy's over here already throwing threats at Iran, and they not even doing it. This is James 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." And because Babylon has always been allied with these bastards, what do you expect? These are the same people that comes over here. Well, then again, you got all of the same people that from every other nation coming here. But this is the main league right here. This was the main league for Babylon. Out of every other country, these Israelis can come over and have their own sort of business, or not even business. They own good neighborhoods. They got their own ambulance, you name it. You don't see these Arabs or these Chinese with their own ambulance. No, these Jewish had their own ambulance, which is crazy. Because for where I live, we seen it. But the crazy part is, I'm sorry, Salaki, this is not even the crazy part. The funny part is that we always seen it coming. We've been saying this every time. World War III is coming. Technically, World War III's been here, but these people don't understand it. That this next attack possibly could escalate even more. They over here saying it's the 11-day war. Well, how long will the next one be? Will it be 23? Will it be maybe 45? Did they talking about it's going to be an all-out war? Well, that 11 days was already an all-out war. So what are they going to call this one? What are they going to call it when this war starts affecting other countries? To where everybody's getting involved. These people failed to understand that this is going to happen regardless. So going on to the scripture where it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity." This is what Babylon always done. You know for a fact Babylon's always had their hand into this. Their hand is always into every little thing that comes across. And for the simple fact that no one questions it. Or for the fact that years later, all of a sudden an article pops up saying that America had their hand in it. Just like an article a couple months ago, coming to find out that that a Russian reporter was killed and America had a hand in it. America is just like another mafia, if you want to claim it, which is by these elites. So of course they're going to fund whoever's side, because funny enough, they are allies to Iran and Israel, but they fund Israel because guess what? They're going to be the bigger power anyways for them. But let's say if Iran starts falling, America will fund them just so they can keep the war going. The longer the war lasts, the more money they make. And we can see that this is the iniquities that that Esau devises, because he will set up a scenario, make it so destructive, sound bad as hell, and then come with a solution. But we know the antics of Esau. So I just wanted to make a quick video on that. So with Lord, when this was edifying. So with that, shalom.